Now, what are the costs? I mean, is there any reason not to do it? Maybe that's because it's so much effort to do it well, or is there just no downside?
There is downside. It's an opinion-based question. Some people might say, absolutely not. Digital is the way to go. Other people might say, back in the day when they did have movies where there were thousands of extras running around, that was the thing. It was realistic because every person was a real person. Versus nowadays, it's Lord of the Rings style where we have thousands of extras or all computer-simulated extras. It looks great. It goes back to the sleight of hand where, we're blowing something up over here so you don't see that they don't quite look right, their movement isn't quite right. But it really comes down to the simple fact that digital is a budgetary thing, and when it comes down to it, digital is typically cheaper up front. Digital isn't cheaper in the long run typically, or not, I shouldn't say typically. Digital isn't cheaper in the long run many times, because once someone sees it, they might say, okay, now that it blew up this way, I want to make the mushroom cloud a little different. And then you go through all these versions, and then it comes out being a different expense. But
so in some sense, almost like a metaphor for lying verbally, once you tell one lie, you get trapped in a web of lies.
Yeah.
It pushes the envelope that you have to come up with even bigger thing next time, and next time to get the audiences engaged in your film.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, you can use any number of the superhero movies nowadays. Where you watch. What's a good one to use as an example?
Well,
Thor. Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, any of the Marvel movies. So if you watch those, the first ones coming out were pretty fantastic. They're fun, suspension of disbelief, all that stuff. The kid in you wants to go.
Imagine the Superman from the 80s.
There you go.
Ridiculously simple compared to a modern
to Superman now. But each movie has to beat the last movie. And if you're talking about a sequel, the sequel has to beat the prequel or not the prequel, but the original, because if it's not as good and better, the audience is going to go watch it, and then it's going to drop off, and they're never going to buy the DVD. So it's all about marketing. It's all about beating out what we've already done. How can we make it better than before? That doesn't always mean that we succeed. There's plenty of movies out there that had great aspirations and dreams that bombed horribly or just didn't do well. But that's typically the goal, is to do better, make as much, if not more money
than the last time.
Yeah.
Well, you get plenty of my money, I'll tell you that. My son's always going to see these movies.